Undoubtedly so, everyone has at least experienced one sad moment in their lifetime. An element that not only adds but intensifies this sad emotion is one more gloomy and low spirited, called depression. Hello, my name is Charles Christian, and I'm here to hopefully give you a better understanding on the serious impact that depression can cause in people's lives. According to Lindsay Holmes, a writer associated with the Huffington Post, 350 million people around the world currently suffer from some sort of depression. Aside from this, I should mention that this is classified as a mental illness. Even though this is treatable, only a third of the 350 million people actually treat it. Now knowing this, it is important for you to understand the downfalls of depression, to which how it can harmfully affect your surroundings, your body, and even your future. Although this particular disorder can internally cause trauma to stimulate bad thoughts, the impact that depression could have in your surroundings is not to be underestimated. Due to this disorder, it can hinder your relationships with your friends, your family, and even your significant other. People with depression may lash out to those closest to them, while others may lose control of their emotions. Dale Kiefer wrote in an article reviewed by Dr. George Krusick that those who are depressed are literally not themselves. Furthermore, he went on to say that men with depression tend to display anger and may even become abusive. On the other hand, he explained that women are more likely to sink into sadness and despair. Nevertheless, this can decrease the performance effort in a workspace environment. Some of these symptoms include lack of cooperation and being absent from work. In fact, it has been shown through Shannon Kalikowski's research on mental illness that most employers who are depressed show high rates of being absent from work. Conceptually speaking, this is only a small portion to how depression affects an individual in general because it does not only affect your interactions with others. For instance, depression can play a huge role into one's physical health. One major outlet that people plug into is drinking alcohol to cope with their feelings. The WebMD organization that shares relevant information on many types of disorders stated that 1/3 of people with major depression have an alcohol problem. Being that alcohol is a depressant, it can damage the liver as well as harm the brain. If anything, drinking alcohol indeed makes depression worse. On another note, depression can lead people to cause self-harm. Rather than using antidepressants, some people are more inclined to use knives to cut themselves to deal with their distress. However, I can testify I have had some occurrences in which 2 of my friends confessed to me that they have used self-harm to try to cope with their depression. Instead of overcoming their depression, self-harm actually increased their negative thoughts, in which they have almost considered committing suicide. With depression having a strong hold on hurting the individual, this can tie into and determine what the future may hold. Unfortunately, it is probably overlooked on how much depression can affect a person's future. Aaron C. Pollard, with an MA in therapy, expressed in a recent article that once depression enters into one person's life, the goal is to hinder their identity. This means that depression can attack what is most meaningful to you, your character, your talents, and what makes you uniquely you. In a sense, depression is a manipulator that discredits your worth as a human being. In addition, depression can cause people to think that there is no hope for them in the future. If depressed people start to believe this, then they would be more inclined to ending their life than to keep it. The Suicide Awareness Voices Education stated that there were 41,149 suicidal deaths in the U.S. alone because of their depression. Growing from elementary school to high school, I remember when a fairly close friend of mine died because of the excessive bullying she received, just because she was intelligent, or more so called a nerd. The feelings of being unwanted and feeling worthless caused her depression, and her future was decided that she would take her own life. Being consumed with gloomy thoughts that can cloud your head can be extremely painful. Your surroundings, your health, as well as your motivation or sense of hope could all be distorted. Even though hundreds of millions of people suffer from depression, it is important that we take a stand to counteract these effects. Thank you for your time.